My name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. Today I'm going to be talking about rinsers. It's something that people don't use these days. They kind of came in before 1800 and they went out of fashion, probably completely out of fashion by probably 1940, probably earlier. They're a kind of way of cleaning your glass at the table. I think historically people didn't have as many different kinds of glasses, so and I think also some people call them coolers as well, so maybe it's to do with cooling the glass between drinks. So you'd clean your glass between different kinds of drinks, or maybe cool your glass between different kinds of drinks. The reason I'm doing rinsers is because the weather's terrible and I don't have to go and get anything from my shed in the garden because I've got all my rinsers here in the house. So yeah, that's a really good reason to do rinsers. And as I said, it's something that's really obscure. And what I'll do when I start demonstrating what rinsers are and the ones I've got, I will give you a little demo of how a rinser works as well, just so you get the idea of what it's for. Okay. So this is the first rinser I'm going to show you. It's the little bowl on the left. And as you can see, it's got like a pouring lip on each side, and it's got little cut grooves along the base. And the one on the decanter that you can see on the right is period. It has the same grooves, and probably these kinds of things would be in the same service together on the table. And I'll show you now how a rinser will be used. So you would have it filled with water, and you'd get your glass like this, and you would put it in and it would rest on there, and you'd swivel it around like this, and and take it out. I don't know if you dry it on your napkin or something, I don't know, or if you just use it wet, but that's how you would use your rinser. And as you can see, it has two pouring lips. If I can show you, demonstrate, one on each side. That very rarely you see them with one lip, whether those were for something else or not, but very occasionally you see a bowl like this with one lip. Here I'm showing you a couple more rinsers, just to give you a bit of size variation, and the answer is there isn't very much size variation. They're made for glasses to fit in and be clean, so the height is probably about an inch different. You can see my hand here. Hang on, I better get it level with the rinser so you can see my hand. They're kind of like very big finger bowls, and they're generally a fairly standard size, and these are from about 1800, I think. So here are a couple of post 1800 ones. They look a bit like a pear, but these are a very common type. So there's a slight height variation. The cutting looks very similar. Probably the only real difference you can see here is that with this one, the cut grooves here go straight across, and with this one they dip down and go back up. They dip down where the pouring lip is, and they do it on the other side too. It's just a fashion thing, but I think because most of them are of this kind, which would fit into that sort of like 1800 to 1820 period, this kind of cutting on decanters kind of probably shows that that is the height of when they were most in use. Here are a couple more rinsers. They're very similar to the last two. This one is a variation in that you've got sort of like the wide cutting along here, and this one is very narrow, very tight. One thing that helps you look at this and say, is it period, is it not? I mean, there's some scuffing and stuff like this around the edges, and you'd expect to see that, not chips or anything, but just scuffing on the surface in this. You can see there's been quite a bit of action around the pouring lips, but there's a nice big bubble in the base just here. And for a lot of modern glass, you don't see that. Anything that's kind of like later in the 19th century, there's less and less of these kind of, what I would say, features in the glass. And there's quite a few smaller bubbles. I don't know if those are going to be picked up in the picture. Here's another rinser. I was quite excited to see this one pop up on eBay. This is an Irish one made by Cork Glass Co. Circa 1800. On this, the cutting around the bottom is a bit wider. The little pouring lips are smaller as well, and I don't know if that's a distinct. And the reason I was quite excited to see it is because I have this booklet here called Irish Glass by Mary Boydell, I think it is. Yeah, Mary Boydell, and in it, I've insert this back and front. Here we go. There it is, right there. With the use even demonstrated. So that's really nice when you can actually pin down a piece of glass like that to the actual maker and date. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. That's my best rinser, I would say. Here's a bowl-shaped rinser. This is quite late in the world of rinsers, really, that you'd normally see with these pouring lips, in that it's this etching here really wasn't commercialized until the 1850s. So yeah, you can see how it's nicely cut. It's got cutting underneath here as well, underneath the pouring lip. Yeah, this is a very nice one. I was very happy to see this one pop up on eBay, because it is very different from most of what you see for rinsers. As I said, it's got two pouring lips, and it is a very high quality piece and would have been probably quite expensive when it was new. So here's another rinser. Yeah, this is a different shape, and it's also quite fancy. It's got some. This kind of cutting is very reminiscent of Irish glass, blaze cutting. You see that on Irish glass too. If something is really nice like this, quite often it's too good to be true, and this is not a period. Well, I suspect this is because it's got a little bit of wear and tear. I suspect this is made post 1900 to 1940 period. There were a few companies making these. They were kind of had some sort of resurrection, but yeah, the glass is just too clean. It's too nice. There's not enough scuffing. Yeah. So that is a copy, and that's what you're going to see. You need to really look at things carefully. If they're too nice, if the quality's too nice, the cutting's too nice, the glass is nice and shiny and refractive, yeah, it's probably a copy. So this is a bowl that doesn't have a pouring lip like and historically I've always thought these were finger bowls. They're very tall for a finger bowl. Most finger bowls are like half the height of this, because you don't want to shove your whole finger in. It's not like you're washing your hands. And yeah, I thought, yeah, these are big finger bowls. This kind of cutting is, sorry, it's a bit of a mess, this one. Really needs the inside polishing here. This wide cutting is from sort of like 1830s, 40s, maybe a bit earlier. And yeah, I always thought these were finger bowls. However, I did see a picture with a bowl like this from 1860s with a glass in it. It was a picture of the picture was really of a young girl eating an apple, but on the table was one of these bowls. I think it was exactly like this, with this broad cutting like this as well, being used as a rinser. So that was a real surprise to me. And yeah, I'm going to show you a couple more just to show you that, yeah, some of these bowls may have had dual purpose, or they may have been rinsers, but just in a slightly different style. People stopped putting the pouring lips on them, maybe. Here's another one in the finger bowl style. As you can see, it's still big and deep, and yeah, this is a period one. It's got a nice big air bubble in it. You can actually feel it on the inside there, and yeah, it's got other small bubbles and things. I think that's white mark there. That's actually a piece of frit, and that's a bit of sand that hasn't melted. So yeah, that makes that a properly period piece. It's got the right amount of wear. So yeah, that's potentially another rinser. Here's the last one I'm going to show you. This one's quite interesting. It has what's known as a pulley ring, which is a feature, I would say, because it's moulded onto the surface of the glass. That was not very common in the late Georgian period. These were actually copied. Pulley ring glass was copied in the post 1900. I don't know how long it went on for. It's quite hard to find, so I suspect it wasn't copied for very long. But yeah, this is original. It's got quite a bit of wear on the base, and also this, I don't know if you can pick that up, but there's some black chunks in there. Those are bits of soot out of the furnace. If I run my finger over the inside, you can hear they're actually embedded just under the surface of the glass, and they make a little lump. So yeah, if you see little black bits like that, that's an indication of, usually that's soot that's got trapped in the glass, and they've just carried on making it. They've not gone, oh no, that's no good, that's a second, we'll chuck that away, stick it back in the furnace or whatever. They've just carried on making it, and because that was acceptable, because so much glass had it. And yeah, the same with the bubbles or the little white bits, which were either, the white bits are either bits of unmelted sand or bits of the pot that the glass was melted in. So yeah, so that's the end of my demonstration of rinsers. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing other videos about obscure bits of antique glass. I will be doing more. I will also be doing more definitions as well, but I said I fancy doing this today. And yeah, so if you like this, please like and subscribe, because it'll help my channel and give more promotion to antique glass. Thank you. Bye.